What is up, gentlemen? NYKF31 here. Madden 17 Ultimate Team game. I got my mad scientist hat on still. Still trying to get this Panthers power spread cracking. And on defense, I'm rolling out the Jags playbook, and I'm going to play some Seahawks user single high, which is borderline insanity. But, like I said, this time of year, with nothing really to chase, why not try stuff? One of these years, user deep safety play is going to be a viable way to play, and I'm going to be ready for it because I'm pretty good at it. It's the stuff that goes on around my user's single high safety that causes some heart attack moments. But anyhow, what I want to talk about in this video is Madden 17 and the non existent skill gap this year with this game. Maybe skill gap quite isn't the right way to put it. There are clearly players that are just flat out better than others at the game. There are guys who have user stick skills. They're quicker to recognize and diagnose your route combinations and making user plays in both the passing and running game. There are guys who are just better at reading defenses and executing their offense. So not really a skill gap, I guess, but I guess a better way of putting it would be knowledge gap. It doesn't take a whole heck of a lot in this year's game to become a competent player. For example, if you want to become a fairly competent defensive player pretty much instantaneously, just learn the nickel blitz 2 setup that everybody runs. Get that down, and you can automatically eliminate 95% of most people's playbook. You'll instantly force people into running single back power sets or one of the few shotgun sets like shotgun bunch, snugs, or split close to deal with you on a somewhat consistent basis. And if you're lucky enough to run into someone who's playing with a playbook without those formations, or you're up against someone that doesn't know that they have to use those formations to slow it down, you can make the game unplayable for them. And, that's just one example. This year, you have a lot of people that either are mediocre or just flat out bad. Like this guy. This guy sucks. Can't read a defense worth a damn. He might hit a little, shot play out of gun snugs as he gets gassed up there. I bring some edge heat there. That's Buck Slant 3 Show 2. That's another pretty powerful edge blitz. All the edge blitzes are pretty much good, but they're not. It's not nearly as deadly as a nickel blitz 2, but it can definitely catch someone if they're caught napping, especially when they're up against cover three, cover three, cover three, man one, and they're used to having a base rush to read their coverage against. But getting back to my point, it's a big problem when the top tournament guys are on Twitter chirping about it. They're not happy with this either. They're playing for bread, and they don't want guys who have no business competing with them having a puncher's chance because of some stupid blitz that can only be blocked out of maybe a half dozen formations in the entire game. But the thing that annoys me a little bit about that as well is that they didn't reach their wits' end until Problem got eliminated in the online group stage and did not make it to the live finals that start tomorrow. Now, I suppose it's poetic justice in a way because Problem got into the championship game of the last Madden Major by basically rushing 6 out of Nickel Blitz 2, so I guess what goes around comes around, but what were we hearing from people whenever we brought up the fact that this blitz is wrecking havoc on people? Block your tight end, they said. Run play action to the side of the blitzer, they said. But once Problem lost, then it's get this out of the game. I did not like that. And I like the tournament guys for the most part. I speak with them on Twitter. I follow some of them on Twitter. And they're cool. They're good guys. I'm not saying that to, drop shade on anybody. I'm just speaking from what I've observed. And, that's before we get into all of the assists that are in the game now, like Ball Hawk and Heat Seeker. If someone wants to use those features offline, knock yourself out, those things should be turned off in head to head play. You used to need to have timing to make user INTs and user spots. And if you were late or early, you didn't get there. But now you can just hold down the triangle or Y button while you're running around with Ryan Shazier or one of these genetic freak linebackers and mutt like I did right there. That's a textbook example of what I'm talking about. Play recognition is a skill. Going back to the problem is the best I've ever seen at recognizing his opponent's route combinations. That's a skill. But the fact that you're able to sprint at full speed like a madman all over the field with these linebackers are holding down triangle, square, or Y, whatever it is, that's just dumb. It just shouldn't be in the game. Things like that narrow the skill gap. Mindless use of nickel blitz 2 lessens the skill gap. Single back jumbo heavy with a wide receiver wing package lessens the skill gap. I don't mean to offend those who run single back jumbo heavy, but the wide receiver wing package is the sole reason that formation is a thing. You can line up wide receivers as wings at the end of the line of scrimmage in a power formation. They can't be pressed. They get a free release off the line, off of any route that they run, and you're not even hurt all that much in the run game with them there either, when they should be getting pulverized. But on the flip side, I can't blame them for running it because it's one of the few sets that you can block a nickel blitz 2 out of and not have to sacrifice most of your receivers to pick up a damn slot corner. So this rampant spreading of exploits that is now a part of our world because of YouTube and social media, it leads to a game you're forced to play where everyone is forced to play the exact same way in order to have a chance to stop what someone else is doing. I got to give props to D Jones. I guess you can say I'm a bit of a D Jones fan. He lost to the finals of the first Madden Bowl, and I don't think he even plays anymore. Maybe I'm wrong on that, so maybe someone can correct me on that one, but he hasn't been heard from in quite some time. But he got fed up with this stuff. And again, when the top 1% of the Madden playing world are irritated by something in the game, you know it's bad. The only good thing about it is that on the flip side, that's probably the quickest way to get these things rooted out of the game. So, congrats for that, I guess. I mean, my opponent here in this game, this guy's terrible. The only reason why this game is remotely close is that because I'm labbing an offense filled with broken plays that are hard to run. We're talking about trying to run a power spread, and I'm playing an extremely risky style of user defense. I mean, who the hell controls deep safeties? If you make a mistake, or if you're caught in a situation where your corners in their deep third coverage just drift and don't recognize routes that are developing and leave you out to dry, covering two guys with one downfield, you're going to have problems. But whatever. So, those are my thoughts on that. I'll do another part to this where I'll talk about the sim community and why I think adaptive AI is a horrible idea. I'll go into my thought process on that and expound on a few more topics. So there you go. I kind of liked getting Cam Newton involved carrying the ball off the power and the blast. I gave Cam about 10 carries and it worked pretty well as opposed to just optioning where the ball will be taken out of his hands most of the time. So that's my latest little branch out of trying to get this power spread to work. You see Randy Moss do his elevator man stuff there. Not quite sure how that was not a touchdown, and there my corners hung me out to dry like I spoke about before. I almost got there, but. Anyhow, hope you guys enjoyed. I'll talk to you all later. Peace.